Well, hi everyone. We're in a series titled Rest for Your Soul. So how do we find this rest for our soul? Hebrews 12, verse 1 to 3 says, "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." There are so many things in this world that can easily entangle us. It's easy for our minds to wander, to dwell on the past, to think about our pain, to think about unmet expectations, or worrying about the future, overanalyzing our problems, waking up in the middle of the night thinking about things we have no control over. These things can become sin when they lead us to feel resentment or anger or wanting a version of justice by wanting something bad to happen to somebody that deeply hurt us, or controlling others, or fantasizing about a preferable future, wanting what we don't have, idolizing our dreams. We can become burdened by these things, entangling us and robbing us of rest. So what does the author of Hebrews suggest we do? I was reminded of a saying my youngest child's teacher says at class. When the teacher wants the student's attention, she says, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And the class responds by saying, 1, 2, eyes on you. They know that means to pay attention to the teacher, that they need to listen, that they need to focus their attention right now in that moment. That's what Hebrews is telling us to do. Verse 2 says, fix our eyes on Jesus. We need to focus. We need to be mindful of what we're thinking about. Instead of spinning and worrying and dwelling and overanalyzing and filling our mind with anxiety or obsessing on what's bothering us, we need to focus our thoughts on Jesus. When we fix our eyes on something, we are focusing on that one thing. We need to be aware of God's presence, to be aware of the present, not be dwelling on the past or always thinking in the future. And when our thoughts wander and drift into unhealthy thoughts, we need to do what we read in 2 Corinthians 10:5, which says, "Take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." A friend told me how his wet, muddy dog got loose and was running around his clean house. He said the answer is not to ignore it, you capture it. We must not ignore our thoughts, but rather take our thoughts captive. We set our minds on Christ, who is seated at the right hand of God. When our minds are set on earthly things, we're getting our focus off trusting in God. Hebrews 12:2 said, "It was for the joy set before him that he endured the cross." Jesus experienced joy when it comes to helping us in our deepest need. And then verse 3 tells us, "So that you will not grow weary and lose heart." Jesus endured the cross so that by focusing our eyes on him, we would not grow weary and lose heart. And when we do that, we will find rest for our souls.